Grana Weepenny Bong! And welcome back to my channel where we talk about all things Transformers and Transformers action figure related. And today on my channel we're going to be taking a look at the Newage Legendary Heroes first couple of issues of their take on Devastator. So we're going to be looking at Rum and Vane, otherwise known as Bonecrusher and Scavenger, and these dudes are going to form the arms of what will eventually become Devastator. I'm super hyped for this, loving my Legend scale figures this year, especially the ones from Legendary Heroes, so let's check these two out. Check a look. As always on my channel, we're going to start off by taking a look at the packaging, and as always, Newage has not let us down one little bit. Absolutely gorgeous artwork on the front, very G1 inspired. We're going to look at Rum and Vane. I'll be having a bit of Rum later on. Awesome. So 29 and 30. Not sure what this says, not sure what that says. And then at the top we get a picture of the bot and the alt mode for Rum, and not sure what that says. And then at the back we get hold of them. These actually do come with the figures, which is pretty cool as well. So they get there, we get the little trumpets, and we can see kind of blurrier image here of Starscream, and that's not just because my camera won't focus on it. And we get this Hephaestus set. I'm not sure what this sticker means. Box art is made in China, 2021. Warning, do not eat your children because they have small parts. On the back, we see Demolition Rum, and we know that this is going to become the arm of what will eventually be their take on Devastator. I know a bit of controversy around this one because this is like a frame that you buy separately. You know, we'll see. We shall see what happens. And this, obviously, Vayne alt mode becomes the other arm of Devastator, and this just looks so cool. I cannot wait to have a Legends size combiner for Devastator. I still think to this day Devastator is the best looking combiner and probably my favorite. We get more pictures of Vayne on the bottom. All in all, absolutely outstanding box art there. As always, we do get the destructions, and the destructions are okay. To be fair, pretty simple transformation for both of them, even though they do share tracks here and here. They don't transform exactly the same, the tracks for the feet, which I was very surprised about. So different engineering, even though they both have very similar tracks. Nice destructions in the worksheet format that I like. First we check the box, now we check the bots inside. So the bots that were inside this bot are pretty cool. Both alt modes here look great. This is a massively fluorescent purple, massively fluorescent green on both of these figures. Really nice. Very day glow. Love it. But I do have to say, I would have liked maybe a little bit more effort, if I'm honest. I would have liked to have seen these black as opposed to the fluorescent green that they come in. I know that in the G1 cartoon and things that these kind of followed through, and that it was that these were this is the color that they were there. But I don't know, I'd have liked to have seen something maybe a little bit different, especially for this one, because it does look like he's just sitting on a purple pillow type affair. Yeah, a little bit disappointing, but you do get the molded detailing in there, a little bit of detailing on here. They're quite plain, I do have to say, and I think when I was covering this in the news as well, I was saying that they look okay, but in the alt modes, but they do look a little bit, just a little bit plain. Like, I'm not a fan of sticker sets, but I think a sticker set could have gone a long way with this, or just a little bit more detail. Plastic feels good, doesn't feel squishy. It does look a little bit kind of marshmallowy and squishy, but the plastic does feel very good on these. Articulation, you do get some little, so you do get some dumper action on the front of this one, and that's pretty much it for this one. Shame no wheels really on the bottom. Would have been a nice touch maybe as well, and the tracks don't move, so it's very, very much just going to sit there, look kind of pretty, but hey, it's not staying in this format once I get the other ones anyway. And then for the other one, this one has quite a bit of articulation. Again, nothing in the tracks, but you do get a round the world, around the world. You do get a full 360 here, and then obviously you get 1, 2, and 3 points of articulation on the digger bucket. What's it called? Is it called a digger, or is this just called a bucket? I'm not sure. I don't know much about diggers and things like that, or excavators, I guess this is. But it does get a good range of motion in this, and will pretty much hold in whatever position you want it to be. And you know what? They do look good together as a set. I think it's very cool. Accessories. This thing has got lots of accessories, actually, more than I thought was going to come with it. And the first lot of accessories that I want to show you, or maybe the only one actually in this one, we'll look at the rest when it's in bot mode, is these Energon. It rains Energon with these ones. They come with 6 Energon cubes. One of my Energon cubes is a little bit deformed. Soundwave didn't do a very good job creating this one, unfortunately. I think the other one's a little bit damaged on a couple of my. Hold it up to the thing there. You can see a little bit of damage on 2 of these. Oh, all of them. They all seem to have this damage all in the same place, unfortunately. So obviously there's a problem with the mold, because they all have this like little bit of damage there, but I guess we can hide that. They are all very transparent, very pink and transparent, which is nice. They're made of a kind of rubber, yeah, like they are a little bit squishy, a bit of a hard rubber effect, but very cool. So you can get them to kind of mash it all up, and he can bulldoze them while he doesn't really fit in the bucket, so he can't really do too much. Really, it's him to go and kind of push them around and look like they're doing stuff with Energon cubes, or just build a nice wall with the Energon cubes as well, and have them kind of like that. Looks quite cool. So for your displays, the Energon cubes themselves are pretty big, actually. Yeah, nice. So now time for the comparison, so you can start to really see the size of these dudes. If you own a Legends scale Darius or Galvatron, you can see that they are already similar, I guess, in size lengthwise. But I would say this is definitely a better quality figure. This has some die cast in it and stuff like that, whereas these dudes don't. So there's a little bit of a difference there. And then if you are thinking of trying to get these to go with your Earthrise figures and your Hasbro, then sadly they are really out of size for that, because there's Cliffjumper from Earthrise, and you can see that he is absolutely much kind of out of scale, and also bigger than these dudes as well. Okay, so now it's time for the transformation, and the first thing we're going to do is flip up this one here and flip this little section that's underneath. Flip that back down. So you just flip that back down, and then we can just close the lid down with this. Then flipping the whole thing over, what we'll do is we'll just untab everything here by just maneuvering these sections out and out. So it just tabs in here at the front, so you can undo that. And then you can see you've pretty much got the legs here, and then everything else. So rotate this around, bring it back into where it needs to be, and fold these 2 sections down and bring that down. And there's a little bit done here. So now we're going to finish transforming the legs, and the first thing we do is flip up this section here and fold this one here, and then kind of bring this whole thing, then fold this section in underneath, rotate this section round and fold it in on itself, so you've got a lovely looking leg there. Then do the same on this side, so flip this up, push this in, and then kind of move it all out, round to the side, flip it back under, rotate it round, and bring down. Nice little clever engineering there on the legs. Nice. I really like that piece of the transformation. Now we'll do the work on the body. First thing you do is just untab everything here, kind of undo the arms here and here, pop up that head. This bit actually tucks down like this, and then this kind of bit just folds in like that. There we go. So you've got his kind of squared off body like that. I think everything is done. Fold out his hands, and then they also come out like this, and then yeah, there we have our own little dude ready to rock and roll. So we'll do the transformation on the other one, and then we'll have a quick check a look at how the others look. So now time to transform Scavenger. The first thing you do, rotate this around, and then just undo the tabs that are at the bottom, and then move these around. Very similar to what we did with Bonecrusher, is bring this down, bring this section out. This is where the foot difference is on this one. So with the feet on this, it's not as complicated really as the other one. So all we're going to do here is twist this round to here, move this down, and then once you bring that around to the bottom, you can just fold it down, and there's your foot. So same on this side, untab it, bring it round, bring it down, bring it around again, and there's the legs. This one just rotates and angles down. These arms kind of come across apart, and then also you can bring the head out at this point as well. This section here just folds down. This obviously just forms the back. Spin the head around and then squeeze that body back into place. Unfurl those little armies, and then again, similar to the Bonecrusher, you just bring out Scavenger's arms like that, and then you have Scavenger all done and ready to go. So now let's check a look at Rum and Vane in their bot modes, and I think these bot modes are outstanding. Very, very good. Obviously, I do think that the ones for the alt modes are a little plain, a little pale, not quite what I would like personally, but I think they have got these modes absolutely spot on. Let's start off with Rum. Rum just looks absolutely gorgeous. Lovely purple running down the leg there. Obviously the legs are just, everything else is just very, very luminous green. Looking at this head sculpt, what a funky, cool looking head sculpt. Shiny there on his red visor. A nice gunmetal kind of grey there, and a silver face. Really, really, really good. Plastic again, obviously in this mode, no die cast. Everything does feel very good. Actually, is this? I think this hinge might be die cast here, but I'm not sure. It feels... No, I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but all in all, very, very, very nice looking. Articulation on this dude, you'll get a full 360 on his head, and some nice up and a lot of down, obviously, because of the transformation, but you do get a good range of articulation. In the leg, arms, you'll get a full 360, and then at the elbow you also get the full 360. You don't get any oh yeah, you do. You get a nice little twist there as well, and you get some hand articulation, which is really bizarre. I'm not sure why he has hand articulation, but dude's got hand articulation. Cool, nice. And the hands on these do come off as well. As I found out during the transformation of Vayne, not sure why they come off. Maybe it's something to do with the combine and how they combine in the Devastator mode, but the hands do come off. So, if I want him to have green hands, I can swap his hands for him. If I want him to have more articulated hands, I can do that. So that, I guess, is pretty cool. You do get all the ab crunch you need. You do get a full 360 here on the abs as well. The legs will articulate beautifully there, and you'll get some back and some front. But what I absolutely adore is this knee articulation. You get not only one, but you get like 2 points of articulation at the knee that just gives it awesome flexibility and a great look as well as you go through it. So you get those 2 points of articulation and some thigh swivel, and you get some foot swivel and turn and all kinds of stuff. Articulation is absolutely on point with this and looks beautiful while it's doing it. Looking at Vayne now, again, look at that head sculpt. Nice, shiny, two-tone on the grey there as well. Absolutely gorgeous. Nice molded detailing as you go through it. A little less colour variations than within Rum. Obviously the hands are just fluorescent green. But again, it looks very G1, very cartoon-esque. If he has to have purple legs, the only way you can do it, I guess, is just by everything being matte purple. I love the design on this. The big scrapper, the big bucket thing hanging off the back, of course, looks very G1 authentic. I actually, when I have mine, I do like to hang this kind of over the front when I have my scrappers in bot modes. You can't do that with this figure. You don't get any articulation here to be able to do that. So that's a bit unfortunate that it only hangs off the back. You do get some head swivel here, which is great. Full 360 on the arms. And then you also get some nice rotation here at the top of the arm. Really nice elbow bend and hand articulation swivel. But no open and close on this one. Not sure why. You do get the full 360. Does look very odd there when he does his 360, but you do get it, and you get all the ab crunch you could possibly want. The legs are virtually identical articulation wise to Rum, so you'll get ollie out, ollie in, all of this way, all of that way, and then you'll also get some swivel, and then you'll get a beautiful knee bend. I love the knee bend on these tracks, and then also you'll get foot 360 and some foot swivel this way and some foot swivel that way. Not so much, I mean, you can move this so you won't get much front and back action, but you will get some left and right action. Pretty good. Will these dudes ninja kick? Oh yes, no problem. And maybe not, maybe it's a little bit more difficult for you. You do have some thinner feet. Now, they can't do unison ones, unfortunately. Rum has a little bit of a challenge when it comes to doing this. He does have thinner feet, so if you look at the feet difference between these two, you can see that he's got a much larger footprint on the Scavenger and a much smaller one on the Bonecrusher. So one of the things that pretty much straight up sold me on these figures are the accessories. Guns, first of all, are... nothing really to write home about. Little pistols. Nothing much to write home about. Pew pew pew. Pew pew pew. And they are both very, very similar. I forget whose gun is supposed to have what, so I guess someone can shout at me in the comments for giving Bonecrusher the wrong one or Scavenger the wrong one. But that's how the guns look, and they're pretty nice. They are pretty nice guns. At least they are different. There is slight variations between the two guns, which is cool because, the temptation, I guess, with this set would be to give everybody the same gun. But I do have to say the accessory that sold me on these figures are these. The trumpets from the coronation scene in the movie. Absolutely awesome. To fit these, you just put them in the hand. Hope the hand does not come off. And then you can just just put it in the hand, and then they both have their little trumpets. Really cool. Love the look on these trumpets. Nice shiny brass trumpets. They look exactly like they did in the movie, and these guys are ready to coronate Starscream, kind of, until he blows them away. Okay, so let's do the comparison, and we'll start off by comparing it to the Legends Planet Size Galvatron, who is actually just out of focus here. So we can see all three of them together. Galvatron is a little bit taller than them, so if you are looking to add these to your collection and you've already got this little dude right here, you're going to see that these guys are a little shorter, which is that G1 accurate? I'm not sure. Maybe. Galvatron was pretty big. And then bringing in your Earthrise Cliffjumper, you can see Cliffjumper stands about the same height, which is obviously wrong for these figures. So they don't really fit in. The build quality is very different, and just the aesthetics in general is pretty different between these figures. So I wouldn't particularly pick these up if you are interested in adding this version of Devastator to your Earthrise collection. It's not going to fit in. Okay, so final thoughts on these dudes, and would I recommend picking them up? Yeah, I think if you're looking to collect these are a great start to the Devastator from Newage. If you're into your Legends scale figures, I don't think you'll be too disappointed in these two. Like I said, they don't quite have the build quality of a Darius or their version of Straxus, or even their take on Shockwave, but you know, we'll see what happens when the full Devastator thing emerges, but so far I am pretty happy. Let me know your thoughts on these down in the comments. Are you looking to pick this up? Is this the version of Devastator you're getting, or are you going with the Magic Square option? Let me know down in the comments, and as always, if you're new around here, please think about giving me a like, a share, and a subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Alright guys, in a bit, peace!